Yo, what's up, Chris? How's it going, man?
Yo, yo. Yo, 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 yo. Sorry, had a loop. I think we're back. We should be.
We're back. All right, we're gonna get into some of the new migration cohort. I just want to announce that Memeverse has ended their migration. So their migration, literally, as we're starting up the show, they're, I guess, what were they, like 3 weeks or 4 week migration? They had a long one in the last cohort. They just finished up. So our fellow co-host Jake is offline right now, helping them finalize their process. So if anybody who's listening has Memeverse tokens, did the migration, that should be live basically any moment now. It should live, but we should probably watch the chart. Maybe pull up the old chart. We can watch it go to zero. That should be happening any moment. But happy to talk to some new projects who are on the space right now about their upcoming migrations. Love to learn about the projects. It's a little overwhelming for me. Maybe you're tracking it more than I am, Chris, but we got so many cool projects as part of this this group that's migrating to Pump. Just excited to get into it.
Yeah, I think one of the kind of like flagship moments that continues to happen within our community is they get to see so many cool projects that they've never heard of previously that come through and that are migrating, whether it's like, the Radar team was really, really big. The Zera team was really, really big. A lot of people got introduced to Pay AI through the migration process. The first migration cohort 3 space that we held on Tuesday, we had Pyro, which everyone thought was super cool. Even Outlast. I know that you're a big fan. And so, it's just overwhelming how many projects there are in crypto. And so getting kind of a lane to zoom in and spotlight a lot of these cool projects, I think people are really excited because everyone's so used to everything being a complete scam or it's just something, total waste of money and attention. But I think that it's being proven that a lot of teams that are willing to migrate and put themselves out there are the ones that are actually looking to better themselves and actually looking to make a difference.
Yeah, actual legit teams, legit builders. And of course, there's always teams that, we've had 1 out of our 20, which basically rugged their project. But 1 out of 20 in crypto is like, it's an impossible ratio, bro. It's like, it's amazing, honestly. And so that's been actually really refreshing for me, is learning about legit teams, doing legit stuff. You mentioned Radar. When Radar came on and first approached us about migration, like they were such a small market cap. We were like, we don't think we can do a successful migration with you. And now it's like, shit, I think like Solana was tweeting about them the other day. Just incredible growth and traction for what they're doing. So yeah, it's just really nice to be a part of kind of highlighting these teams and stuff. And so let's get into it. We got a couple teams up on space today. Why don't we start with Paragon first? How's it going, man? Who's behind the account there?
Hello. It's me, Gavin.
Hey, what's up, man? So you want to give us a brief overview of what you guys are doing over there, and yeah, just give us a kind of a peek behind the curtain of your guys' history and maybe a little bit about what you're hoping to do kind of post migration.
Yeah, of course, for sure. So my name's Gavin. I started my company Paragon 2 weeks. We've been around for about 8 years, and we initially started as focusing for PC performance and just basically troubleshooting for the tech industry. We first started around right before the pandemic, or actually like a year or so before the pandemic, but really took off right as the pandemic started. Everybody was locked in the house. Everybody was on the computer. Gaming was super popular. So it just took off. We were assisting multiple just users and players, setting up gaming computers, troubleshooting issues, and kind of just exploded like that. We started offering more services, and we started getting known by really established individuals in the industry like FaZe, these just massive household names for the gaming industry. We're able to work with super big streamers and industry leaders in that aspect. Yeah, we've really just been focusing on enabling performance for tech users globally. So that was around 7 years ago, and now fast forward here and service around 100,000 different individual machines and offer free services and products and applications for people that can't afford it. And yeah, just trying to get everybody good performance pretty much. So.
Hey, I think, Chris, are you hearing a bit of a cutoff there with him?
It's a tiny lag. It's
tiny lag. If you want to just drop down, maybe close out your X account and then rejoin. Make sure you're on a good Wi-Fi.
We did hear you though, but yeah,
we did hear you, but it was a little bit laggy. So just join again, and we'll get you back up.
Gotcha.
So let's jump over to. I'm gonna butcher this. It's Innovosens. Is that how do you say the name?
It's Innovosens, Innovative Sensors.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's what we are. Yeah, this is Sirisha. Thanks for having me, Chris, and Migrate Fund team. So how do you want me to go about it? Should I give you a brief about?
Yeah, just give us a brief. I know you guys are a little bit maybe more complicated than the standard tokens we deal with, but yeah, give us a kind of a high level overview.
Yes. I think for somebody who might have already heard about us, this might be a repeat, but yeah, I'm Sirisha Adimathyan, founder and CEO of Innovosens AB INC. We are predominantly into IoT-based sweat wearable sensing. The journey started with my personal experience of having lost my dad for a disease and saw him go through amputations, and then I was diagnosed type 2 diabetic at the age of 14, right? So that was the starting point, which led me to start something around healthcare, where I became curious to understand the biomarkers, lipids, proteins, and how this affect an individual's body, right? Coming all the way from Sweden, supported by Swedish startup ecosystem, EU Commission, Eureka, Eurostars. These are all the names that have funded us, where we've competed with a number of startup awards and grants, won a number of grants, and especially Sony Global also had invested in us with a couple of other investors on the cap table. Now marching towards becoming a scaling company, raising a Series A round. Recently launched a flagship product called Hydration Intelligence System, which got us immense traction. We were there on Kickstarter. It's basically an electrolyte sensor and a hydration sensor with a proprietary algorithm to monitor hydration and electrolyte levels, and we found the product market fit for athletes and occupational health and safety, where we offer monthly subscriptions with the sensors, dashboard, and app.
Yeah, so this is like wildly different than most of the projects we've talked to, right? What made you guys launch a token? Because this definitely doesn't feel like the traditional team that launches a token. Walk us through how that happened. What were you guys thinking at that time, and how it went for you?
Yeah, I think like any other startup, I mean, we do have our struggles, and we were looking for right platforms, and we were considering going on, stock exchange, getting publicly listed. I mean, some of those companies even at this stage would do it. But then we were evaluating options, and we were coached by some of the advisors saying that, here is the case, and there's a possibility, an option for crypto where you could launch the token and you could make the fee and blah blah blah. So some of those advices we took. Honestly, did not know much about it, but we said we a founder's mindset is like crazy. With that kind of craziness, we also thought let's try this route out and see how far we can get with it. I mean, what's the kind of visibility and what kind of support we're going to get with it. So that's the sort of mindset with which we took a decision boldly and came on to this platform, crypto in general.
And how did it go when you launched? What was the experience like?
Yeah, definitely, it's more eyes. We did gather good community support, even though the platform, Believe did not give us the expected amount of support that we were, anticipating. But the community support is great. We as a company, definitely, I mean, we are seeing so many things that are happening. I mean, our journey remains, we're focused on what we are trying to do in terms of bringing in partners, in terms of scaling, in terms of marketing the product. I mean, that there's no change in that path, whatever we were doing. But yes, I mean, we are getting more traction. We're getting more people, getting more support. And we're hoping that this migration to Pump Fund will get us more eyes, and we will be in a position to say that, okay, now we are, we could accomplish whatever we were trying to accomplish while we were in unbelief. So that's what we are looking forward to.
Yeah, I think it's in a lot of ways kind of this idea, Chris and I have been talking about it for more than a year, right? I was calling it ICOs 2.0, right? Like this, and it's turned into kind of the ICM market. But this idea of funding rounds, it's funny you mentioned like Kickstarter. I did a Kickstarter, I don't even know, like 10 years ago or whenever Kickstarter launched, maybe 15 years ago, I did a Kickstarter for my company here in Costa Rica. And, the big glaring issue at the time, and it's still an issue on Kickstarter, is you can't actually own part of the company. You really have no legal piece of the company at all, right? You're just kind of supporting the company, or maybe you're kind of pre-buying a product that they're going to make, but there's no like ownership layer. And I think, we're moving into that now. We definitely haven't figured it out in crypto. It's not like done, but we're moving in that direction. How are you guys thinking about that when you're thinking about, the future, like ownership layer of your company?
Yeah, I think, in sync with whatever you're thinking, our anticipation, or like, the message to any others who's doing a similar kind of journey, I think ICM on crypto will be big. Coming here and trying to do the right things and trying to get the right attention, I think will change things like night and day for a startup which is struggling to bring funds into the company. More and more ICM tokens should be launched, and we are hoping that a platform like Kickstarter, where people can actually pledge and buy the product, if it's a physical product or an app, right? So that's a starting point of a crypto journey. I think that's how I specifically see that this is going to evolve into.
Totally.
Paragon, a more sort of a marketplace for startups, and then those are the angles that I'm thinking of for the future.
For sure. Looks like we got Jake in the audience now. Jake came in. Paragon, you back, man?
Yeah. How do I sound now?
You sound like
is
butter now, man.
Let's
It
go.
sounds like you upgraded your entire setup.
I am a tech support guy, so I have to make some.
Well, dude, what I know from working with devs and stuff is devs usually have the worst tech when it comes to like social media or Zooms or whatever. I could tell you 1,000 stories.
So it's actually super funny because like since launching our project, we've been able to assist so many crypto studios and stuff like that with broadcasting setup, mic configuration, streaming stuff. So it like doesn't really stop at gaming. Pretty much any sort of content creation or like podcast and stuff, we offer those services and stuff like that. And it's so funny, like the smartest guy ever can code and do all this stuff. He's like, I need help setting up like a voice filter on my stuff.
Totally. So I wanted to dive into a little bit there. So do you guys provide like basically a piece of software first, but then it's also like hands-on support as well? Is that what you guys are doing?
Yeah. So right now for the majority of our business, it's always been one-to-one technician to customer servicing. But with the release of Paragon and the direction we wanted to take our business, I was super ingrained in the Fortnite community, and a lot of the top traders on chain Solana are ex-Fortnite pros. So a lot of my mutuals are a ton of the top like full scan people and stuff, and I've communicated with them. And that was originally the people that kind of like proposed the idea of launching Believe. They're like, your business model fits perfectly, and they're telling me about like revenue and growth and how I can like adapt the two together as an ICM. But I knew that software was the direction I wanted my company to go to. I know that is the best thing for users and the best thing for businesses. And so that's kind of the pivot for Paragon. We released that free software, and that's on the Microsoft Store. It's the first kind of crypto ICM like application that was approved for the Windows Store. And our flagship at PTU is actually super close to being released. It's actually released this month. And we've sunk a ton of time, over a year's worth of effort into it, tons of time, sweat, money, and it's dropping this month. Okay. And we know that applications that can troubleshoot, optimize, and eventually even configure and do things that technicians do are the future. And we know that Solana loves applications. And so we just fit the criteria perfectly.
So give us the overview of what the functionality is going to be for a user.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, tell us about it.
For sure. Yeah. So the application will allow you to do hardware monitoring, any Windows machine, temperatures, GPU, RAM. You can see full system dashboard and spec info. Kind of like searching around your computer, trying to find out what parts you have. We're going to have intuitive upgrade listing on it. Kind of Googling and trying to figure out, oh, what should I buy? What should I purchase? We're adding on something that will tell you what parts you can need. Optimization presets for majority of gamers. Tons of people play games. That's probably the biggest market in 2025 right now. It's always been a big industry. Games make the world go around pretty much, and there will never be a shortage of gamers. So we have custom settings and profiles for each game. We have overclocking assistance on it. We have networking configuration, people that deal with high ping, network loss. It actually tests your entire home internet and checks your buffer bloat and speed tests, whether it's a data center company, just somebody just chilling at house, or even an office. It can actually measure the quality of your internet and even provide steps and assistance on how to improve it.
Now for people who don't know, like my kid is a big gamer, and like the ping thing, I think I paid $20 a month for some like ping service that he uses, because this was such a big deal for him to be like, you know, to reduce that or make the number better. I don't know, whatever, it's up or down, right? To make that thing better. And it did. I mean, it made it incredibly better.
So we're kind of attacking all those corners of the market with those big, like $20 is kind of a lot. Ours is going to be $15 and less for all of the multiple different subscriptions and tiers. And then you incorporate Paragon into it and the amount of customers that we service monthly, and then tied to the content and the connections that we have. We're doing huge marketing campaigns and stuff. So me and the team are just super excited to like finally bring it to life. Cool. We wanted to do it for a long time. And I feel like what Innovosens was talking about when we were on Believe, it was definitely a struggle. And so having to kind of sit on information and sit on your hands, waiting to see how things played out wasn't going to be the best idea. So that's kind of why we took matters into our own hands. We knew we had to make something happen and deliver stuff for our customers, but also for our holders.
Very cool. Let's, with both of you guys, we'll get in. Paragon will go first because you're already talking, but tell us about your idea for tokenomics, you know, going forward. Obviously you're going to have, well, both of you guys are have some sort of revenue stream. But tell us how you think of tokenomics, you know, currently. Obviously this can change, but how you guys think of tokenomics right now?
Yeah, for sure. So we service around like 1,500 to 2,000 people between like a month or two. It varies between like school years and stuff like that, and just wintertime and seasons and stuff. Some people are inside, some people are out. But we use Paragon as a 3 times payment multiplier. So the project's only about four-ish months old. And when we integrated the 3 times payment multiplier, we had about 4% of the supply burned and just in paying customers. And so the goal is to basically increase that number, increase that deflationary tokenomics for Paragon, making our investors their Paragon worth more, but also giving our customers the ability to purchase our services at a cheaper discount by supporting the Paragon ecosystem. We work with people globally, Thailand, India, Africa, and sometimes the US dollar conversion is a little bit too much for them. And we know that having a paywall of performance kind of sucks. So we want to make sure we do anything in our power to kind of reach those lower income environments. And so obviously crypto is one of the most widespread like payment receiving options. So if we just payment wall that to Paragon, we can really funnel a lot of those payments through our native token. And so just like even on Believe with that 4% burn, we're hoping to really consistently do that on Pump even further.
Very cool. Jake, how did the it looks like the mic just pop in real quick about the Memeverse. It's all set. It's up and running.
Yeah, we just completed our last migration on the platform. So basically our development team's now going to push the upgrade to Pump Fun. And then we'll be able to onboard all of the teams to set up their migrations here probably within the next 24 hours, and we'll let everybody know. But yeah, 20th migration just completed. Awesome job, and excited to basically double the amount of migrations completed from 20 to 22. There'll be 242. We have 22 teams migrating in December with the two of the teams that are on stage. Yeah, sorry for missing the call. We're just helping our teams out and clearing everything ready for a historic run here next week.
So let's go back to Innovosens. How are you guys looking at tokens, tokenomics? What's your thought process on it now? Understanding, of course, that this can change going forward, but what are you thinking about? How are you thinking about tokenomics now?
Yeah. So we have been working on a utility-based app just for the token holders or anybody who will be coming on board to this migration. Where we're introducing the app where they can do a sort of combined analysis by inputting the hydration data, sleep or stress levels. That's the functionality of the app. And the tokenomics basically would work if anybody has, they hold 1 million tokens, they'll get discounts. They can use those tokens to do the premium subscriptions on the app. And we are also burning, part of that revenue which comes through the tokens. The team has the detailed information on that. We'll be announcing. Going further, we'll also be introducing gamification. We are expecting the token to burn and accelerate, and we will give more details when the time is right on gamification. So it's a combination of the utility with an additional layer of gamification. Going further, we're also talking about introducing AI layer for this combined analysis for what we're doing, and we are integrating with other wearable tech like Garmin's or Apple's or Fitbits, and that's a version 2 of what we are going to launch now. But in summary, yes, token utility for the token holders using the hydration, sleep, and stress data, combining the wearable tech data that they might bring, right? So that's the sort of utility what we'll be launching soon.
When do you think, like, I don't know if the app's not live yet, but when do you think, I see it's like some sort of patch, or how does it work with like the app data and stuff? How are you connecting the two?
So, the token utility part, we are not combining that with the app. We are saying that this utility is specific to the token holders or any users who could use the app just like any other app without any inputs or without any integration needed from the hardware. But you should be able to input your daily water intake, your sleep intake, and your stress levels from your heart rate variability from any other wearable device. So we take these parameters, we are doing a combined analysis of these parameters, and we're giving back the data, saying that if your hydration levels are X versus your sleep Y and your stress levels are Z, we're doing this combined analysis, and we're saying like, okay, this is the amount of fluid, so maybe you need to increase your water intake versus number of sleep hours versus your steps, etc. So this is sort of token utility perspective app that we have worked on. The team is really excited to bring it. Yeah, we should be live in the next I think a week or so.
Oh, cool.
A little more than that. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe you time that at the end of the migration, maybe.
Yes. I mean, we're really looking forward to this. Yeah. That's how we're planning to do.
Cool. Chris, do you have any questions?
Not necessarily any questions, but I think it's just kind of cool how the variety and the spectrum of teams that do need to migrate, and how each team has a different kind of exact purpose for migrating. So, I mean, just on stage, you have, different types of technologies. And then, compared to Tuesday, everyone's more like in the social media or whatever kind of niche. And I think it's just kind of crazy how there's so many teams that have a spectrum of a need to migrate. And then, it just brings everyone together kind of in a pretty encompassed way, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you just give me a minute, I also want to emphasize on the rebranding, that we are going to do with this new app that we are launching, considering the token utility and the functionality of the app.
Yeah, tell us about it.
So we will be introducing a new name for this app. That's upcoming. Don't have that locked. I mean, we're still working on the IP and the trademark sort of a thing with the teams internally. But we will be announcing, and rebranding is a sort of thing that we will be going forward to with this migration. So that's an announcement that I want to make to our existing token holders.
Awesome. Yeah, migrations are obviously the perfect time. We rebranded. We've had a bunch of teams rebrand. Probably Zera being the biggest one, which went obviously extremely well for them. So excited for that, for sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having us here. Really looking forward to going live on fingers crossed.
It's coming up, right? It's coming up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, if
Thank
anybody
you.
has questions, of course, just raise your hand. You're welcome on stage as we get into some more details here about it. Paragon, so obviously you're, kind of trained as a IT professional, I would say. How big's your team over there, and what's your strategy for kind of growth over time?
There's currently 7 of us on
Wow.
the team. Yeah, I went to school as a computer hardware technician and for like all of my certifications. So, in fact, I also went to culinary school. So
Nice.
super different job niches, but those are both what I went to school for.
Very cool.
But yeah, next year, like I said, we want to automate a lot of stuff. We know software is the future, and the people that we've been talking to, especially within the Solana ecosystem, they want software on Solana, and so that's what we want to give them, as well as our customers. Totally really likes the idea. Raj really likes the idea. We've talked to Solana Gaming. They want applications that accelerate people on Solana. And in our case, it's going to be performance and just basically PC troubleshooting and just any assistance or help that users may need. For scaling, like I said, we have that huge market campaign coming with the drop of PTU, but we want to release more utilities, more things we're thinking about. Even though we're doing like the optimization process, me and my dev are throwing around the idea of maybe like a crypto firewall for like Phantom Wallet and stuff like that can monitor your system and ensure safety in that aspect. We also want to maybe potentially hire more employees. There's a lot of people that I interact with and stuff that we may need to bring on the team for more in-person servicing. But for the most part, me and my team, we handle the majority of the customers by ourselves. If you join our Discord, you can see we have a super lively general chat. A ton of the vouchers from a few of the people that do leave it a review, and then all the pro level vouchers on the website from the professionals we work with.
Yeah, it's super cool. I'm almost like, if you just focused on gaming and didn't even do the rest of the world, it's almost like that's enough. I saw a thing the other day, some crazy stat, like the number of people on Earth who play a game every day. It's like 3 billion people, bro. It's like some insane number. It's like everybody.
I tell people, it's like you can't fade this massive of an industry, especially since I can like confidently say we're the leaders in this aspect, like this super niche aspect of troubleshooting, optimization, and just maintenance in general. But yeah, we don't want to stop there. We always have our eyes on something bigger. We know that we're rewarded if we take the first step and go for something that hasn't been done before. So we just obviously the main focus is giving utility to Paragon. With holding Paragon, we even have levels of doing tech giveaways. We were able to give away monitors, keyboards, and mouses to holders because they accumulate PTU points, which can be used for giveaways. But on migration, we want to do more. We want to do actual Mac laptops, Apple headphones, entire gaming setups for token holders to redeem those points that they earn. So you kind of just want to make the Paragon ecosystem your one-stop shop for anything PC or tech related.
So cool.
And we've been doing a really good job at it so far. We've been limited in some aspects, but I think the migration is going to really take off some of the shackles or the things that are weighing us down.
It's kind of interesting, we've been talking about for a year now, at least, this kind of swing back away from meme coins to like utility tokens at the core, but it's like the token itself doesn't have to necessarily provide utility if there's an outside revenue stream from real companies. And this is like a perfect example of like a real company, a real business, which is like a service business that does just interesting tokenomics around it where people can take part in it. It's really interesting. I just, Chris, to that point of just, we've been talking about this and here it is, man. It's like, we're back. utility is
Yeah,
back.
we are so bad.
Right.
It's been what, 4 years or so since utility was even of interest to
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
It
I
is
remember
pretty.
the NFT craze about like utility and stuff.
Yeah, but this is right. It's kind of interesting how like utility tokens have been rebranded as ICM. It seems like crypto every 2-3 years likes to take something that previously worked kind of and then just rebrand it to something else and push forward. And generally, it seems to work for whatever the reason is. But here, with all of the teams that are migrating from Believe, it feels different, right? It's like there's an actual focus around the product first versus the token itself. This is like a question that we internally debate all the time from Emblem and Migrate and Hustle is, right? Are you a token company or are you a product company? And it's almost nearly impossible to do both, but you can kind of flip back and forth throughout, the years as you build on kind of where the focus is. So if you guys as Paragon considered this, as you launched on Believe initially and now migrating to Pump, where's the focus on the product versus the token, and how do you manage this as you move to a new ecosystem like Pump Fund, where there's just a high priority and preference on the tokens itself over the product?
Oh, you're muted, man.
Oh, perfect. My fault. Yeah, I'm glad you asked that question. I know what Alon wants to kind of direct Pump towards. We got kind of a taste of that in the creator capital markets with the streaming and stuff like that. Our brand actually fits that perfectly. Being able to be on-site tech for these streamers that he's trying to onboard and make sure that they're equipped to handle the attention, the performance that's needed. We kind of fit that degen or that live boots on the ground behavior that Pump Fund brings rather than what Believe does. So being able to assist all the streamers that they're eventually going to start onboarding and also just having better tokenomics. I think with the migration process, getting that supply and potentially doing airdrops in the future, starting a treasury, those are all plans that we know that we can do on the Pump side of things.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting. I'm actually quite excited to see how Pump Fun, navigates their ICM, and also they have the same challenge as well of transitioning from kind of token first to product first. I'll pass the same question over to you. I know as you guys progress and move from Believe to Pump Fund, how do you manage the balance of being a product company versus a token company, and what are the plans after you make an initial move and migration over to Pump? And this question may have been answered, but apologies, it came in 20 minutes late.
Oh, you're fine. It's really just business as usual. I don't think our project's defined by a launch pad. When Migrate excited to do more, announce more, I know there's kind of like an umbrella in the Believe ecosystem. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, if the sentiment of the main ecosystem, especially being so new as Believe, is negative, all projects are affected. Whereas Pump, you still have that launchpad curation and that care, but it's not that umbrella effect like Believe had since it was such a new venture from Ben. So yeah, just it's business as usual. Still pumping out updates, still keeping like 100% transparency. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think the same thing. Yeah, it's pretty exciting time. We're gonna make some history here, and I personally just am excited to have the industry move to kind of product first, as that's what we've been doing for almost 10 years now at this company. Very tough battle to say the least. Yeah, very
Yeah, I
tough.
mean, it's just attention in itself, right? In crypto, it's so attention is just driven by numbers so much. Like it's 99% numbers rather than real teams, real product. I mean, just people are just not really interested in that. So I like when it comes back to like real teams, real builders, real stuff. I mean, it just feels way better.
It's kind of interesting how many projects Believe was able to actually get onboarded, and then they're kind of just throwing in the towel. I think that's kind
Crazy.
of very a bold scenario. That I mean, it feels like they had such a head start on so many people revitalizing this kind of ICO meta, this, ICM meta. And then, it just kind of hit the brakes on everything. And so I don't think the meta is going to stop. It's crazy to see them stop before the meta is actually even taking hold on the whole industry.
Yeah. How about you guys? Do we still have Ino on stage? I can't see. No. They dip on us. No problem. Move forward then.
Went for a little bathroom break.
Yeah, no problem. Right, take a business call.
Yeah.
Right, engagement farming. It's always the
Yeah.
fun part. Okay, well, so with Paragon, right, you guys are focused on gaming, it appears, as well as part streaming. I don't know if you guys covered. Do you guys cover like the backstory of how?
Yeah, we got into a bit. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, really interesting. It's
Yeah.
just so unusual, honestly. Just listening to both these teams, Paragon and Innovosens, that these guys would be like not the ones I would think would launch a token. One's basically like a health company, and the other is a tech support company, right? Just not the normal crypto token launch companies. This is really, really interesting. Yeah, we have just some outlier projects here for sure.
Well, it's we're very familiar with being kind of first to a new market or to a new industry and paving the path forward and basically setting the template for everyone to come. I'm looking here on the live stream. This is the Paragon flywheel performance backed value loop. Could you dive into that? What is the performance backed value loop? Is this just something based off of revenue? Is there some sort of aspect of this related to the IT that makes this a different paradigm comparative to what people are used to?
Yeah, for sure. So the value loop is the 3x value. So when somebody pays for the service, they can either pay with USD value or they can pay with the equivalent of Paragon 3 times less. So however many tokens that equates to at the current market cap, they can purchase our service, and that those tokens are permanently burned. So like I was explaining earlier, even in the 2.5 months of us integrating that payment feature, we burnt close to 4% of the supply, over 32 million tokens, just in that short period of time. So we want to continue and accelerate that in a sense, and even use portions of creator fees to buy back some of those tokens and burn them to create that deflationary mechanic, increasing the value of the tokens held by our holders, but also still giving our customers an opportunity to get that value from the purchasing with Paragon.
Yeah, it says we envision Paragon not as a temporary project, but as a fuel behind a new kind of PC performance culture where optimization is no longer hidden knowledge, but gamified, accessible, and social value. So where do you see this, looking upon, 6 months after a successful migration, you're on Pump Fund. What does this new type of market look like that Paragon is creating?
I feel like Jake was speaking about it earlier. He was like 3 billion. Was that you saying 3 billion gamers?
Yeah, that was me. That was Adam.
Yeah, Adam. Yeah, Jake Adam just came on right now. Yeah.
Oh, my fault. Yeah.
You're good.
3 billion gamers. I've been doing this business for about 7-8 years. There's always new customers. There's always new gamers. Every Christmas, every birthday, kids are getting new computers and they want better performance. Games are never going to stop being made. They're never going to stop progressing, and the need for performance isn't going to stop. So continuing that performance and offering these services and having that option to pay with Paragon, it'll never stop. And with that value and that the social status brought out in my pin post, if you hold Paragon certain thresholds, you actually accumulate these things called PTU points, which is also what our application is called, PTU. You earn PTU points by all these PTU points, and we hold regular tech giveaways. We gave away monitors, keyboards, and mouses, our last giveaway. But for these next few ones, we want to do big ones. We want to give away entire gaming setups, Apple products like Macs, Apple headphones, So you can use these tokens to pay for servicing or troubleshooting if you need it for your devices. You can hold it to be eligible for giveaways, and the value of it is increased the longer you hold it because of the constant burn mechanic. So kind of like a three-way tie to let every aspect of the people that buy Paragon, or customers or holders and more, for it to be worth it.
Do you look at it like, so I mean, I'm just thinking about my kid, right? But because he would almost like pay for a service where he just constantly upgraded. And I was just thinking the other day, you know, it was maybe like 2 weeks ago, he downloaded a new, like, I don't know, skate game or whatever it was. And this thing, he's got a like really expensive, you know, gaming PC, but for him to play the game and then stream it at the same time, he was getting all this, like, it was just laggy. It like didn't work. You know what I mean? And it's like, it seems like, and then, you know, the hours he spent to try and fix it and look for like solutions, it's just it's a freaking nightmare, right? And I know he's not nearly the only one who runs into this. It's like everyone runs into this, right?
Yeah. It's not a small percentage of games. It's every gamer.
It's like every gamer. Right?
Yeah, it's every gamer. Yeah.
So are you looking at it basically like, well, once people find out about us, they're going to pay us a monthly fee because we're continually fixing problems for them, basically, is the strategy?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
And we are.
Oh, bro, we just got rugged. That was Chris, your internet, bro. Where's the Starlink, bro?
Am I still live? I'm still live on here, huh? Oh no!
I think we're live on on the show, but we lost the space.
The space ended.
Space ended. I was getting the host is having a connection issue.
I'll have to check my phone in the other room.
Oh well, bro. Let's wrap it.
Do you want to keep on going on the live stream and run it from here?
I'd say we just wrap it, man.
I guess we wrap it. Well, what happened in the first 15 minutes? What was any insights from the conversation with either of them? So one's a health company and then an IT gaming company.
It's just it's so interesting. Like basically Paragon is like, he's an IT, like, you know, got a computer problem, call him up and he'll help you fix your computer problem. Like that kind of like level of service. So it's really, that's what I was saying. It's really interesting that, you know, how the heck did he land on Believe, right? Just really wild.
Yeah, the scope of them is crazy.
Yeah. And the other, I mean, they seem like a bigger like healthcare company, man. It's like, how did Believe get them? They ran
how are they integrating a token into the healthcare company? Do they have plans?
I think it was part of this, like within their app. They're basically like a tracker app. So they're gonna have like I assume it's like a patch similar to like your R ring or your whatever the one you wear around your arm is. Something similar to that. And so, you know, I don't know the exact tokenomics of how it's gonna work with it.
Yeah, I think that they were giving some incentives and rewards to use it and then basically scale.
It's all basically buybacks at the end of the day. I think everybody's leaning into
buybacks and burns. That's like the popular thing on Solana specifically. Like it wasn't super I guess like before the Trump administration, buybacks weren't allowed in America, but
BNB
it's
do it.
But it's very apparent that the buybacks and the burning aspect is basically dominating Solana, and people are using it as a metric of growth, although not really being that affected for us, right, with the household token, but maybe eventually you just get to buy back your.
Well, I mean, our treasury is looking nice, not ready in a position to burn yet, but I think we'll get there as we kind of, you know, grow our revenues and everything. I did want to ask him how Paragon specifically, how the PC gaming market is, you know, because everything's mobile. And, you know, I'm from an age where internet cafes were super popular. That's where the highest performance PCs were. Those were all optimized for gaming. Now, you know, everyone has a highly optimized PC, but I wonder if like the cheaper hardware and accessibility of PC gaming, if it's bigger than ever, if it's smaller than ever. I don't know.
Bigger than ever, man.
I get that sense too, which is kind of crazy because, you know, how many people do you know? A lot of people with PCs? Like, I mean, you know.
Yeah,
I have a PC. I'm on a PC here,
but
I use it just for streaming mostly.
Other than you guys, do you know a lot of
gaming? Yes, I know. I mean, every you know, 19-year-old on earth has like a streaming or a
Yeah.
gaming PC, you know. And I mean, it's not like these are $1,000 PCs, they're like $3,000 PCs.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's crazy. And it's what's crazy too is like you have this super expensive PC and it's still not it still doesn't work right. Like that was crazy to me. Like literally you know, as I said, my kid downloaded this new skate game, trying to stream it at the same time. PC doesn't have enough like juice to do that. It's a
Needs to call Paragon, bro.
$3,000 PC.
Needs to optimize, baby.
You need to optimize, bro.
Optimize it. Yeah, it is kind of interesting how it all works. The IT stuff I couldn't even see. Although I do have some friends who are starting up different businesses that have real world components to it. So maybe we are entering this next stage in an era of crypto where there needs to have this real world component to it. And it can't just be completely digital, because you do now have older generations moving into the industry, people in the stock market, right? Institutions and IT companies.
Bro,
They're
the
diving in
token
and
is
trying to figure out,
everything.
people are just realizing that a token is essentially an incentive model, right? And you can attach it to literally anything. I remember telling friends when I got into crypto almost 10 years ago that you can attach a token to any type of market and get people to do anything. Now it seems like it's really becoming a reality.
It makes the most sense. Like you look at the biggest companies in the world and it's like the Colts, right? It's the ones with the actual community that value the stock above anything else, not necessarily just based on numbers. And that's how you get like the massive valuations, like the Nvidia Colt or the Tesla Colt or the Amazon Colt or the Apple Colt. And it just blows all the other valuations out of the water because they have these fanatics. And the way to get closer to them is to give them a tangible token and kind of align your interests where you can do cool things like burns and incentives and things like that that you just really can't do with a stock.
I think it's just cool for like Paragon, especially because obviously moving to Pump to be in the kind of streaming ecosystem and have that opportunity to connect with teams and stuff over there, I think is pretty cool.
Streaming is big, right?
Stream.
Attaching your business. Maybe Pump had the right idea the whole time, but maybe just did the wrong marketing around it. I think when people are thinking CCM, they're thinking like Twitch streamers with a token, but in reality, it could just mean the video projection or the video arm of a company that you have the token automatically attached to it, right? Like these guys, they're not going to be sitting there streaming, asking questions to people. They're going to use it for whatever their marketing arm is. And then the token is just directly attached to it. So you can do some viral campaigns on Pump Fund and you immediately get, I mean, the Pump Fund numbers are what, 50 people watching the stream, if that. But
but
the
that's
next
the same on
evolution,
Twitch, bro. 90% of Twitch streamers have 0 people watching. Like it's nobody's there. You know what I mean? It's kind of feast or famine for all this shit.
It's kind of, I mean, like, look at us. We have to stream for our company weekly, you know, and it's just like, it's like a necessary aspect of the company that it's how we get our marketing out, our messaging out, get closer with our community. Some shows are hits, some shows are misses, and we have, you know, different levels of scale on them, but it's a necessary part of the business. And so I think that obviously we're a forward-looking company, and it, like, just like, you know, seeing what we do and how we do it every day, it makes sense that most teams are going to need a streaming arm. So I do think that they're in the right arena.
Yeah, Chris, remember in 2021 when we had native research, and I was like, before we started that, I was really into social tokens, and like I actually wanted to build kind of like what Pump Fund is doing. I was like, dude, if I could just take this social token and attach it to a YouTube stream, like you can do airdrops with the token, you could do all these kind of like mimetic, you know, marketing campaigns and things of that nature to get people to you know, engage with the token. I'm assuming Pump Fund's probably doing something similar. You know, I think is really interesting, and maybe this is something you approach to Pump Fund later, is when we have our Emblem AI platform, is you attach a vault to all of the streams, and now you can tip in any blockchain or any currency, right? And you can do, and you could tip with NFTs, and you can attach all kind of things, because you do, when you watch a lot of these like larger streams, whether there's somebody who's sitting at a desk or somebody who's lock themselves in a cage, pretending to do some sort of bondage or lighting themselves on fire or whatever, right? You want people throwing every single type of value currency at you, right? Like if you're a street performer in Las Vegas, people tip in dollars, people tip in yen, people tip in coins, right? But you don't really have that option now with Pump. It's just you can only tip in the coin, like their own coin, but you should be able to accept anything. So I'm sure that's probably like the direction that they're headed. And yeah, it makes me a lot more bullish talking with these Believe teams that these are traditional businesses that are just realizing that there's a market here for an incentive token. I mean, granted, how many people in the health who are getting healthcare actually understand crypto or want a token? But you can kind of do the like gimmicky, you know, here's some tokens on a card, gift bag, hello, come back to your doctor later or whatever kind of thing. But it's probably $10 billion industry if you could figure
I mean,
out
or
how
it's
to
just
do
crypto
that.
becomes like the finance arm. Like this is the way you finance, bootstrap some company, and then it can just be a real company. And you know, crypto is not figured out yet how that you can almost have a meme coin attached to a company, and that kind of has an ownership layer. We haven't figured that out. There are lots of teams out there trying it. You know, we've talked to the SOAR guys. I know they're trying it. Yeah, it's still a work in progress. ICO 2.0, man.
I just know that none of this stuff makes sense in the moment, but it always makes sense in hindsight. You know, like you're in the .com bubble. It's 1999. Everyone's like, what the hell do you need a website for? Like, why do I need to put my veterinarian business online? Like, why would I do that? But now everybody has their veterinarian businesses online.
Yep.
And then it's like 2012 and you have like blenders that have like Bluetooth and you're like, why the fuck would I want to hook my blender and my toaster up to the internet or whatever? It's still not fully there, but like it makes more sense today than it did 10 years ago. And so we're going to look back in 10 years and say, why the hell would that, you know, medical company need a token? And it's like, well, duh, everybody needs a token. I don't know. I just think
Maybe there's not one token to rule their model. There's a trillion tokens.
It's a hyper tokenization. I remember having this
literally,
conversation.
and we just all the tokens trade everywhere, and it's all just a big giant token mess.
I remember this was the conversation in 2017 was hyper tokenization versus hyper Bitcoinization.
Yep.
And I was always on the hyper tokenization. It was like, yeah, obviously the world is not just going to surround one coin. That's like saying the world surrounds one religion. Like that's obviously never going to happen.
Yeah.
right.
So you're in the past. Obviously, some are more popular than others, right? Just like Bitcoin is the most popular and probably will be for a long time. But there's always going to be room for all of these other ones. There's people who are diehard Cardano people, and that's never, right? That's never going to change, no matter how many times it hacks or goes offline. Raza, so what happened to the AMA? We got rugged on Spaces, unfortunately. So yeah, we're just kind of having the wrap up conversation here. The last thing I'll say is, you know, it's funny is I never thought that chat roulette plus tokens would be like a $10 billion company, but that's what it ended up being.
Hey. The internet's a dark place, man. We love the clicks on the internet, so nothing surprises me anymore.
We do. We'll wrap it up here then. It was a great conversation. Got cut about 15 minutes short due to technical errors, but you know, it is what it is. Migration season starts next Tuesday. We're actually going to be hosting spaces with, I think, 5 teams on Tuesday, 5 of the migrating teams. They knew when to lock in, and we make history beginning next week. Until then, everyone have a good time. See you guys pretty soon.
Later, guys.
Later.